This truck, we know nothing about it. All right, let's see here. Holy crap. That deserves a fist bump.
I do too. I think it's going to run, especially because when there's no brakes, they parked it. But it was running until the brakes went bad.
Let's see what happens here. These advanced auto people, these kids work in there, no offense. They don't know shit. They don't know shit.
Come on, Loon, get up. Oh, wait. There is no Loon today. She's staying home. Got the day off. First day back in this truck. 28 degrees. Still haven't fixed the cold starting problem. But it doesn't matter, it'll still start. Look at how bright it is again. Nice bright day out. Love it. Starting the mornings, not coming out pitch black is always good. What did we sell on eBay last night? Anything?
I don't think so, did we?
We have one thing we have to ship out, right?
We got a plow mount. We got to box it up right now, and that's going to a repeat customer. He bought 3 of them. I'm not really sure what a new... We've never really actually looked it up, have we? How much a new mount costs. Plow mount.
Yeah.
That's why everyone buys them used, and then we ship them. And it's a little bit of a pain to ship them and break them down and make sure they get in the box. They're going to stay in the box till they reach their final home, but their final destination. But we make it work. We've sold, I'd say, at least 2 to 3 dozen plow mounts so far.
For like 300 plus.
Somewhere in the high 20s on the total of plow mounts.
Yeah.
And we're hoping it's a year-round thing. We're hoping it's not just a winter thing. And it's the middle of February now, and people are still buying plow mounts. And it's not like winter's over, but it's also not like winter's beginning. So hopefully they're still just buying them because they're buying a new truck and it comes with, or buying a used truck and it comes with nothing. And they want to hook a plow up for next winter. That's what we're hoping.
It's all disassembled and boxed up. We'll fold it up, pack it in nice, and send it on its way. But we got an empty first bay, so you know what that means. We got to put something in there.
We got this truck in late last night. The description was, are they all 2008s, right? I feel like we haven't had one single 09 or 2010.
Yeah, I know.
This entire past year or the first month and a half of this year. This truck, we know nothing about it other than the year, which I'm about to tell you in a second. It is a 350 flatbed. It's not a dump. Single wheel, unknown mileage, running condition unknown. So when they put that, it means you can't know the mileage because the battery's dead, because they don't know if the engine runs, and they can't turn the key on to see what the miles are because it's obviously a digital odometer. So we took a stab at this one. We've been buying, I mean, if you show over there, there's 3 white trucks over there. There's a white truck here. We've been buying a lot of white trucks. That's just like the standard that everyone's buying new when they buy fleets of 10 to 20 plus. A couple green ones have been popping up, and we've been grabbing them. So we did good on the first couple 2 green ones. We couldn't even see that this stuff was back here. We got a free pallet to put an engine on to ship out on eBay to somewhere. Obviously that's not a home run. What is that? Is that a big tractor trailer wheel or something?
Yeah.
No clue that was back there. This looks pretty good. This Salt Dog spreader.
Buyers, just missing the lid, I guess.
It's missing the lid. It's got the plug. Once again, who knows if it's even for this truck?
Yeah.
They could have just dumped this in here. But it looks like, look at 6.0 turbo diesel.
Flying.
Look at there's no paint missing. It's almost like they never used it. Right? This would all be worn down if it was
looks pretty
rattling back and forth in the hitch, or if they on and off. It almost looks like the lid's right here, Jim.
Oh.
Filled with ice.
It is right there.
I wonder if it goes on this truck, we can test it and put it for sale. Does it look like anything's ever even been in here? The auger's a little bit rusty from the water sitting on it, but it doesn't look like anything's ever been dumped in here.
Yeah, very rarely.
Kind of crazy. Anyway, flatbed dump.
Not dump, right?
Yeah, fixed flatbed truck with removable sides.
Yeah.
When we see the running boards on here, we get excited because we know that the rocker panels and the cab corners aren't completely rotted out. And when you can stand on them, you know that. I mean, I'm a big fat guy, so if it can hold my weight, it's in good shape. This is typical. We have stacks of mirrors. We'll swap that out probably. What else? What do we know? We know it's green. The 4 bullet points I just said about the truck. It's got the Western Ultra mount, the mount where they stole the receivers.
We know that it has no brakes because the brakes don't work. Getting off the trailer.
Getting it off the trailer, that's all. We didn't know that in the description.
Yeah.
We're going to assume that in the description, which we do now because unknown condition, blah, blah, blah. It means it's been sitting and it's something rotted out. 9 times out of 10, the brakes don't work. So we backed we pulled it in here, right? We unloaded it right here.
Yeah.
Right to here, and then we just pushed it with put the forklift like right onto the plow mount. Push it into the spot last night because we were supposed to get a little bit more snow. I mean, I'm looking at shining bolts, Jim, for the plow mount. If you look right through here, those bolts look brand new.
Oh, they do. Right.
It's
right,
weird.
Right there.
We'll show the interior. There's no rips in the seat. There's always rips in the seat. From someone like me, the big fat guy getting in and out of the truck, usually this whole corner's ripped out and the seatbelt's snipped because the big fat guy got stuck in the truck and they had to cut him out. Yeah, so it does have the Salt Dog controller, which is going to run to the back where it plugs in. It's going to tap into the battery. So we can actually, Jim, we can test this salter before we
try it. Throw it on
and
there.
Sell it as a whole kit.
It's kind of funny that they use that little salter when it's a flatbed.
Right? They could.
Why not just put a huge, a big container on the back?
They could have. Maybe it was used for small areas.
Yeah, I don't know.
We still don't know if it runs because the battery's dead, like dead. Here, the key's on. Absolutely nothing's happening, and the foot goes right to the floor. And we were running it with the emergency brake last night when we were pushing it. So let's pop the hood and just check a couple things. I hope this thing runs, and I hope it's got low miles. I'm hoping it's not in like the high 100,000s or the low 200,000s, which is what we've been running into a lot.
Motor looks actually pretty decent. I mean,
it looks clean.
Yeah.
Check the most important fluid, the washer fluid, and make sure that it's full. Empty.
There's no washer fluid in there.
They could have gave us some washer fluid, for God's sakes. No, for real though, the most important one, just to get it to run, if it is going to run, is oil. It's right to the full line, and it's clean.
Well, that's good.
That's a good sign. This is like the most exciting part, but it's also the most nervous part, because the most nervous part, or whatever I'm trying to say, that it could go either way here. On these ones where we specifically don't know the miles, sometimes these people aren't super lazy and they will have a good battery in it and they will tell you what kind of miles it has. For the most part, they don't give a crap. They just list it. Unknown mileage. We couldn't get the dashboard to turn on because we're too lazy to plug a jump pack in.
Yes. Take it in there with you.
Yeah, okay. Now we got something on the screen. All right, let's see here. All right, holy crap. Holy crap, let's get this driver door to 30,312 miles. Before we even start this thing, that deserves a fist bump.
30,000, that's what you just said?
I hope it runs. That would make the day even better because we're still a little bit pissed off about that truck from yesterday.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. All these things are part of the game, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. First thing, like I did point out, was the exhaust manifold bolts on these trucks. If you look at them, even if they're not rusty, just time does its toll on those things. They just like to snap off. And
then you hear buh, 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 and then they run like they run good technically, but the exhaust makes them sound horrible.
Just looking at this one, I can kind of tell that they look pretty good. So I think it's in good shape. Honestly, too. Come over here real quick. The coil buckets, this passenger side coil bucket's one of the most important things to look on one of these trucks. That's how you know if it's really been plowed hard with or rusty, because that's the first bucket that goes. That the driver's side doesn't go as often as this one.
What do? They push up?
Yeah, and the spring will shoot right through. You could tell sometimes. I mean, this thing's would be rotted out, and the spring would be ready to shoot right through. But this one is in good shape.
I know what you're talking about because we've had a couple of those last summer.
Yeah. Where the spring's hanging on by a thread, and it's like you're going down the road. That thing shoots right through. You're going to lose control.
I remember that one specific truck. That was a good truck, except for reasons like that, and we ended up going the part out route because we did not want to send it down the road and put someone in it.
Yeah, just pretending like if we were buying this and we were in person, and for whatever reason the battery was dead, we couldn't start. Just to get a good visual of kind of what's going on here. Those are some easy pointers to look at. Just you can tell a lot from those.
All right, I don't want to cut you off, but this jump pack didn't have too many bars on it. So before that dies, let's see what happens here.
I do too. I think it's going to run, especially because when there's no brakes, they parked it. But it was running until the brakes went bad.
The runner. Finally, we got a good truck in here.
It sounds good. There's no leaks.
Finally.
So you just riding the emergency brake.
I'm curious to see I'm going to pop the hood, which brake line it is, because they all look so good. Sometimes it's is it called the sensor? I don't know the exact term that screws into the bottom of the master cylinder reservoir.
Oh, they leak too.
They rot out, and just the fluid comes right out. And sometimes the brakes are fine.
Oh, you're right, actually. Look at the sensor, it's broken.
Actually?
The one is broken.
Which one?
Right there.
Well, that's where the brake, that's why I was...
Look, right, you see that rotted out little nut right there, and then the sensor and the plug. See, you got this clean sensor on the right there, right underneath that brake line, but then this one is not good.
Okay, that's what I checked last night with the flashlight. I checked all 4 calipers, because we have to weigh our options sometimes with these trucks. If a brake line's bad, you got to put the brake line in, but then you got to bleed all 4 calipers. And if the calipers are rotted to crap, you got to replace the calipers, which costs money and cuts into our profit. And usually if the calipers are rotted, that means they've been stuck in the same position, so the pads are shot.
Yeah.
And when you do pads, you're going to do the rotors because they're going to be warped, and it's going to stop like crap and shake the whole truck. These calipers look replaced.
Yeah.
They look perfect. The bleeders are all look like they're going to crack. But I followed. You can see right here. I shined the light just for the 2-second inspection last night.
Let me see. Hang on.
I mean, look at the brake line.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
I checked all 4 wheels. I didn't check the main one. I only checked part of them. Here's the main one right here. It's got a tag on it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, which line went bad? Is it going to be one stupid spot? Sometimes they blow out right where the hose meets the caliper, right?
Yeah.
Just on the front, we've had that happen on just on one side, but if you do the one side, you got to do the other side to bleed it, and then hopefully the backs crack to bleed the air out.
Yeah.
That's easy. That's kind of expensive. These. So I'm thinking we go outside.
The sensor?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
All right, so the exact term for this switch here is a cruise control release switch. Here's the switch, right here. There's Jim making a video for you guys. Here's the switch. And it's not supposed to come apart like that. Here's the electric sensor part, and here's the other end. It's supposed to be one piece. We also try to be as efficient as possible as we can, so we have someone working at all times. So I'm going to run out right now. I'm going to go get this part. It's only 48 bucks. And while we're running out, we're going to hit the post office, and we're going to ship out these 2 small boxes that sold on eBay last night. And then we're going to run these 2 big boxes right here in the plow mount to UPS at lunchtime. But let's get these small boxes taken care of, and we're going to go grab this part. And I am happy to say I have my car back. Since Jim's truck's back together, I got the keys back to my car, so I don't have to drive the gold truck every day. Back from the parts store, look at how small this box is. This is going to be the solution. We've seen online Advanced was like 72.
Yeah.
So I was assuming it's somewhere in the same range. 48 bucks.
48 bucks, that's not bad.
Plus tax. Look how small the box is. I mean, it's tiny. There's the old one. It's crazy. For this probably part back in the day was probably like 15 bucks. There's the new one. Just when I get too confident and I say that the only thing we need to do is bleed the brakes and this truck's all set, the transmission pan is rotted out and it's leaking. And I just spent probably the past 40 minutes getting all the bolts out. So I didn't want to show that because there was a lot of bad words being said because all the bolts were stripped out. We had to use extractor tools and they're all out. I didn't want to have to cut any bolts. I didn't want to have to get the grinder under there because of the two exhaust pipes underneath that go right underneath the transmission pan. So it's a little bit tricky. But we found the pan in stock. The fluid came out of it was in perfect shape. The transmission is shining. The transmission lines are shining. Just the pan was rotted out. I'll show you guys right here. Here's the pan. A little bit tough to see. I mean, you can see the side of it. It was just rotted. It was leaking around the drain pan. And then if you come up here, you can see the transmission. It's clean. It's really clean. The fluid smells like normal transmission fluid should, but these little 10 millimeters were all stripped out. The 3/8 wasn't doing it. A 9 millimeter wasn't doing it. We had used a 3/8 extractor tool and they were coming right out. So the right tools go a long, long way. I'm gonna run out and get a new pan. Well, we already got fluid in stock, and then, cross our fingers, this truck should be good to go.
All right, Steve's got the new pan.
Here's the old pan.
That's the old pan.
Look, it looks pretty good on the inside, but one of the most important things too is don't forget to put the new magnet, or the magnet into the new pan. A lot of people forget to do this, and this will cause your transmission to fail prematurely, because nothing will be catching like the clutch material.
Yeah, the debris.
And the metal shavings that go over as the transmission wears and stuff. Brand new. Crazy, it just doesn't come with the magnet. That goes right there. Pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do what I do best and lay on the ground in this place and crawl underneath this thing. Why aren't we lifting this truck all the way to the sky so we can stand under it?
Because it can't go all the way up.
Because this lift doesn't go high enough. It's only for cars, I think. 10,000 pound lift, but it doesn't go high enough to be able to stand under these things.
You have to like awkwardly bend to be under it. It's kind of not worth. It's not worth it. Hurt your back that way. It hurt your back this way too. But is it going?
Yeah.
Is it not deep enough?
I don't think so.
Damn, really? It's not the right one.
It's not deep enough.
Can't catch a break.
We're just done singing our praises of this truck this morning, how it's going to be so easy to fix it.
The pan is not the right one.
I mean, this wasn't where we usually go to get the parts. But these advanced auto people, these kids work in there, no offense, they don't know shit. They don't know shit. You tell them what it is. They want to know if it has 2 doors or 4 doors. Understood, it's got to be put in the system. This says this fits this 2008 F-350 with the 5.4.
By the
automatic
VIN.
transmission. VIN number, it doesn't fit.
My God.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we want to get this truck done today, and
Damn, that sucks.
well, now what?
I don't know. Do we have a parts transmission we could switch it from?
Yeah.
The box is all
The guy-
mangled
the
up
kid-
because
the-
somebody probably took it out and returned it already.
It looked like it was returned 100 times because the box isn't even together. But the thing is new. Here's the VIN number. Do you have it? Oh yeah, here's it. Sorry, it's falling out the box. Don't even give me the box if this isn't even going to be in it.
Yeah, how do we even know it's the right part number? They could have just picked it up from anywhere. That's how it goes sometimes. It's not the first time we've had parts not be correct.
Well, that's going to ruin this bay being empty today.
Yeah.
This blue truck. Adam, if you're watching, our subscriber who we bought this truck from.
The blue one right here?
Yeah, we're having a hell of a time finding a rear end for this thing. We tried finding just the hub, the rear hub for the left side, because the axle snapped that you insert in the side and it bolts onto the hub. That snapped, so we bought a new axle for just the left side, and then we bought We bought a good used hub because the hub got destroyed because the outer bearing blew up. It seized up and then just blew up and took the race with it and spun. To the left is the hub. And you can't put a new race in, it's just all worn out. I don't know if like a machine shop could fix it.
Yeah, the inside groove where the race like sits is all scored.
The outer race, there's no lip for it to sit anymore.
Yeah, it's all messed up.
So all this needs is this hub, but it's for a cabin chassis, and there's not one in stock on eBay anywhere.
They don't even make it new anymore. It's a discontinued part, which is so weird, especially just for like this year for whatever reason. They make it for a different year, but they don't make it for this, which is weird. So
we don't want to put a whole new differential in and go through that whole thing when this is just off. We just need a hub. That's all we need.
But this truck has just been sitting here like this, and this has been taken up the bay. And it just becomes a hassle when, for example, we're waiting on a part for this truck. Now we're waiting on a part for the green truck in the first bay, and we're out of bays. And then, of course, there's no lift in the third bay, and this is just the giveaway mower sitting here. Just all this miscellaneous stuff, overflow. So that's all. That's how that works sometimes.
I mean, guess what? This thing gets returned for its 9th time in its life because it's not the right part for the truck. Everyone thinks I'm complaining too much. I know I am, but it's a Friday and this was supposed to be in and out.
It's a good thing we got parts in stock though, because we might be able to fix this rather than waiting until Monday. I think we have this transmission. I think we can steal the pan off of it.
In action.
Let's try it again.
Would you look at that? It fits.
Shifting gears here. We're gonna wait on the green truck for a couple other little odds and ends. We're just not gonna get it done today. But cleaned out this third bay finally. It's been a long time since it's looked this clean. Because we are taking that truck, and that truck's coming in here. This is our scrap bin, because this whole thing's going to scrap. We're dumping all of it in here. We're gonna pick this up next week and drive it to scrap. This is way nicer to work on stuff like this.
We could build a Bronco over here.
It looks pretty good in the garage. We're getting there. Still needs stuff, as you can tell. I mean, I'm putting the front together right now with the coolers and whatnot. The hood is very, very short on this, like from here to here, where the engine can actually fit without hitting the firewall. So this cab is as far forward as it can possibly go. With the motor's almost hitting the firewall in the back, like here. So that's why the frame is hanging out pretty longer, like here, than it would. Like the bumper on this truck comes to about here, whereas the newer truck has like the bigger, bulkier front end, but it's still going to be able to work fine on this. Anyways, the cab's set down. I mean,
You just steered it in here.
the steering's done.
We pushed it with the forklift and you were able to steer it, right?
I'm almost done putting, with that. I'm almost done putting the brakes together, so we can start pushing the brake pedal to move this thing around. As we know, the motor was running, so that's just gotta wire it up, but it should be pretty fast from here. All the hard stuff is done, all the measuring is done, all the cab mounting is done, so the cab's pretty much down for good now, which is pretty sweet. But I've been filming clips along the way as we've been going. The body back here is ready to get off, and to put the dump body on. That could happen any day.
And this bed's actually going on a different truck.
Yes, it is, because the bed's in decent shape, decent enough shape to use it. It's not like it's scrap.
A couple dents here and there, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's a perfect work truck bed, so we're going to use it on a different vehicle. But then, I mean, the wheels are going to get switched out at some point, and I'm happy with how it's coming along. It hasn't been easy, but it hasn't been impossible. It's just been better to do it this way, to set the cab on a good frame with the motor already in place. So very happy, and now I'll be able to work on it over here and get it done. Working on it after work.
And then this thing is coming along. It's a good work in progress. And then back to the green truck we were just working on. We got the pan in, and then we found out as we started to bleed the brakes that one of the brake lines is bad. And then we, with a fine comb, which we kind of already did at the beginning, we were going to get to it at some point. Just one. The one that crosses over from the master cylinder over to the passenger side front wheel is bad, right where it like sits in that little plastic groove. That's going to be Monday, or the next video. That truck's going to be running and driving down the street. And then what are we going to do right now? A little preview of what we're going to do in the next video.
Yeah, they saw this truck come in late last night on the trailer as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks to be in pretty decent shape, but the motor's taken apart for some reason. And it's a 6.4. So
Yet another.
Could be any reason.
Yet another 6.4. Okay.
Valve covers are off. This is the fuel cooler. Weird little thing is disconnected. The hoses, I think. Here's one hose, I think. Something.
So missing
This
the
is
coolant
this is
bottle.
the hose to the coolant bottle. The radiator hose disconnected. It's like they started stealing parts off of it, but I don't know why. I'm trying to figure that out, but
What about the other
look
side?
how clean it is. I mean, look,
motor.
literally, look how clean this thing is.
That's the valve cover. Where does all this stuff plug into?
That's the glow plug module, which is sitting on the back.
Okay.
See, I mean, it's here. All the parts are here. They're just taken apart. I don't understand why. But
And tell the viewers why we bought this truck, what we were originally going to do with it.
yeah, so we bought this truck, this cabin chassis for that blue one that's in the garage. It's going to be the perfect truck that we were thinking to take the axle out of to switch it onto that one. And this came in, and there's a surprise about this truck. We didn't know when we bought it.
Which is going to be coming next.
Yeah.
Next video.
So it will throw a wrench in the plans, maybe, but it's for a good reason, because this truck might be worth doing what we're going to do to it.
So we'll just give a quick preview, and then you guys are going to have to subscribe and like this video and turn the notification bell on to come see, so you get alerted when this next video comes out.
Yep.
Ready? One quick swipe. Crew cab F-350 with a 9-foot dump body on it. We're not going to say mileage or anything else. Obviously, it's not running, but that's it. We'll see you guys in the next video, right?
Yep.